Hello, testing, testing.
Testing the cam and others. Can you hear me? Can you testing? Can you hear me? Nice and clear. All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Hello and a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to GDSC Thai UMT. I'm Richie, the MC for today. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you here today. We hope that you will learn and enjoy with today's sharing. So, before starting today's section, I have a reminder for our participants. Please do speak up your question if you are unable to follow, and do always feel free to ask our speaker anytime you need. And now, let me introduce our speaker of today, William and Hao Jun, which is our GDSC Thai UMT tech members. And now, I would like to invite William and Hao Jun to start with their sharing today.
Hello, everyone.
Hi
I think
everyone.
I'll pass to Ojun for the opening. So you can go ahead.
Alright, thank you, Rizu. So now I share my screen. Alright, so hi everyone, my name is Hozu. So I'm glad to be here today. So me and my partner William, we talk about the world of hackers. So without further ado, I will start the introducing the hackers. So first of all, what is the hackers? Hacker is someone who was skilled at a computer programming and could solve complex problems, but over time, he has come to be associated with individuals who use their skills for illegal or unethical purpose. So there are different types of hackers. The first one is the white hat hackers. They are ethical hackers who works for organizations to find vulnerabilities in their system before malicious hacker can exploit them. They use their skill for the good of the organization and works to improve the security of the system. And the second is the opposite of the white hat hackers, which is the black hat hackers. They are malicious hackers who use their skill to gain unauthorized access to computer system, to steal data or cause damage to the networks. They may be motivated by financial gain, personal reason, or a desire to cause damage. And next, the gray hat hackers. These hackers are a combination of white hat hackers and the black hat hackers. They may break into a system to find vulnerabilities and then report them to organizations, but they may also use the information they gain to find for their personal gain. And next is the script kiddies, and it means a person who uneducated in hacking techniques and simply make use of the freely available, but often is times updated tools and techniques on the internet to launch attacks. They without a deep understanding of the technology they are exploiting. So I have a question for you. In your opinion, do you believe that hackers should be required to pay for games, or do you now I would like to show you a quick demo that demonstrates how a normal people and hacker will play these games. So I believe that you played this game before. It's called a T-Rex Dinosaur Games. So it's a game that offers may use spacebar, up arrow key, or down arrow key to on their keyboard to avoid the obstacles. And as the game processes, the speed at which the obstacle appears increase. You make the challenging for the player. All right. So how a hacker will play these games? Normally, they will go to inspect, then can go to console. Next, they can type this command runner.instant game over equal to functions. Enter, and we can start the game. So as you can see, the little dinosaur here ignore all the obstacles. So what this command will do? So the hacker just this command. In this game, when you collide with an obstacles, the game over function here is called to end the games. By using this command, game over function is redefined to do nothing. This means that when you collide with the obstacles, the game will not end and the player can continue to play the games. All right, so back to the slide. So, in conclusions, while hackers might have the technical skill to hack into games, but many choose not to do so for various reasons. For example, firstly, hacking into the games without permission is illegal and can result in legal consequences. Therefore, many hackers may choose not to engage in illegal activities that could result in the punishment. Additionally, some hackers may believe that hacking into games is not a productive or ethical use of their skills. Hacking can be used for many positive purposes, for example, identifying and fixing the security vulnerabilities in software. But using those skills to hack into games for personal gain or entertainment may not align with their values. So, moreover, some hackers may prefer to use their skill for constructive purpose, for example, contributing to open source project or developing their own software application rather than engaging in activity that could harm others or violate law. So next, I will be discussing on how a hacker can gather more information about a target domain name or IP address. So to accomplish this, I will be introducing the two powerful commands, whois and nslookup. So these commands are often used by a hacker during their reconnaissance process to gather information about a target domain name or IP address. So the whois commands provide the registration information such as the domain's owner or registration and expiration dates. And the nslookup command is used to query the DNS server or obtain the information about a domain name or IP address. For example, they can gain their IP address and mail server used by the organizations. So you can try this command in Kali Linux. For example, you can key in whois the domain name, in this case, netflix.com. You'll be able to get the registrant information, for example, their name, their address, their phone number, and so on. So you'll be able to get the information about the domain name. Next, you can try on the nslookup. Besides, the nslookup will let you to able to get the information about the domain name, for example, their IP address here, their server IP address, and as well as their IPv6 address. All right. So if you don't have your Kali Linux installed on your computer, or you prefer not to use it, there are online tool available to try this command as well. So two popular online tools are who.is and nslookup.io. So you can simply navigate to this website and enter the domain name or the IP address you wish to look up. So the website will provide you with the same result as you using the command in the terminal in the Kali Linux. So we can go to this website. Enter the domain name, for example, netflix.com here. Typo. So you can see that we are able to get the registration info, for example, their name, their server, their important date they are expired on, which date, register, updated, and some other information that mentioned before that we're able to get in the Kali Linux. Next, we can try on the NSLookup. The domain. So as you can see, we're able to get their IPv4 address and their IPv6 address and their validate times and also other informations. You can imagine that how if a hacker gain all these informations. So next. So how if a hacker use this command whois and nslookup command to gain more information about the target? So it might cause several impacts. So the first is the increased knowledge. A hacker may be able to gather more information about the target domain name or IP address. For example, there are domain owner, registration and expiration dates, and contact information. So this knowledge can be used to launch more target or effective attack. Another impact is to improve the reconnaissance. Hacker may able to use the information obtained through this command to conduct more true reconnaissance of the target. For example, identifying the potential vulnerabilities in the web applications or network infrastructures. So a third impact is increase the likelihood of the success. So the more information a hacker can get about a target, so the more likely they can success in the attack. So however, to prevent this negative impact of the hacker using this whois and nslookup command, organization can implement several security measures. One possible way is to implement the firewalls and intrusion detection system to prevent the unauthorized access in their system. So this can help to deter the potential attacker to protect against the attack that use information obtained through these commands. Right, so another solution would be to conduct a regular security assessment. So regular security assessment can help to identify the vulnerabilities in an organization's system or networks. They allow the organization for timely remediation to prevent the potential attacks. So the organization can also implement for the best practice for the security. For example, they can keeping all their software up to date, using strong password or limiting their user access to the sensitive information. So for more solutions, later William will talk about it. So that's all from me. I will pass to William for the next part.
Hello. Okay. So thank you, Hojin, for sharing on the introduction of what is hacker and so on. So it's a very awesome talk. So for now, I will talk about the prevention part on my own. So let me just share my slide right now. Okay, let me come back here. So, I would talk about today is what is the nature of like malicious threats and what do we see malicious threats in our life? Which is the most often one in our life, and so on. So, firstly, I will and also prevention. But firstly, I would like to talk about types of malicious threats. Basically, what is malicious threats? Malicious threats basically is a you can read it there. It's a thread of codes inserted to a software system or web script intended to cause serious harm, security breaches, or damage to your system also, and also taking advantages of common system vulnerabilities. So basically, malicious threats, as we call malware have many forms. So that's what I'm talking on upcoming slides. So let us go on for the first one. So the first one I would like to talk about is malware. Malware is just isn't something that you can see compared to virus. Malware actually will be intended to cause harm or like hijack your computer for some sort of activities. So I will talk about malware is a software intentionally to design to cause disruption to your computer, servers, clients, or computer network to leak your private informations, gain unauthorized access to information or system, and deprive access to information or which unknowingly interferes with the user's computer security and privacy. So, in this term, what the passage means just now is, when you download something that you don't know that has been piggybacked by a malware, when you install it, then the malware will be installed together also. But by then, the hacker or like the malware itself can gain unauthorized access to your computer, basically to every file you have, to your network and everything, to cause like serious damage, such as like they will which I will talk about the one lately on later on the examples of it. So let's move on to the examples of it. So like the symptoms of malware infected computer is really signifies into one thing: your computer really slows down. One of the malware side effects is to reduce the speed or the performance of your operating system, which is like some people use Linux, some people use Windows, some people use Macs, we call Mac OS. But normally this is more popular on Windows because Windows is one of the largest user base in operating system. But whether you are navigating in internet just or by using your local application, your system storage resources reappears like abnormally high. You even notice your computer fast start burning away, like jet letting go or like jet going off, like especially who is using laptop, like you can really know like if your computer starts to pull out a lot of heat. It tends to be like your computer has been roped into a botnet, which is a network full of bots to blast out like DDoS, as known as distributed denial of service attack, and blast out spams or mine cryptocurrency. So this one mine cryptocurrency, actually we have one recent case alone, but it is very awkwardly from antivirus company called Norton. I would not say they are still doing this, but what it is from what I heard from the news is like they ask customer to like download their program, and like they like have operations that launch an app to mine cryptocurrency in the background when the user is not working or using the computer. So it may cause harm to your graphic card and your computer alone because you're having a high workload every time you're using the antivirus. So it's one of the really bad malware infected also. So in example of like for the malware infected, you can see actually your task manager. You can see here actually you can know that when your resource is like your memory usage is like 90%, 80% without opening something, which I have a lot of things open here. You can compare to mine, like I have a lot of things open here. I have 32 gigs of RAM. But when you see, let's say you have 16 gigs of RAM, when you see even you're not opening anything, but your memory disk usage just went like 80-90%. It's very terrible, which it may be a symptom of malware has been infected inside a computer. So you may take a look or reformat the computer if so, if any. This is one of the symptoms also. So next, I would like to talk about the next malicious threats, which is adware. Basically, adware is like it's on the name. It's advertisement malware. It's an unwanted software to design to throw advertisement up your screen. Most often within a web browser. Some people from the security professional view it as a forerunner of the modern day potentially unwanted program. Typically, it uses a underhanded method to disguise either itself as a legitimate or piggyback on another program to trick you into installing in your PC, tablet, or mobile device. So this one actually, I don't know if you heard about it before. 10 years ago, when I was searching in the browsing internet, when I was searching for like a free antivirus or something, I've encountered something called 360. It's an antivirus software, but in the end, I was downloaded at the wrong site, I was told. But what it did is like, okay, it piggyback itself as a legitimate antivirus software. But when I install it, it seems normal at first, but suddenly they install a lot of other things to your computer. So, which I will talk about in the exam, the symptoms. Actually, like, one of the symptoms is really like you suddenly have a lot of unwanted things in your computer, such as like your screen start to have ads or something popping out in your sidebar or anything. Yeah, so the telltale signs to that you have a adware in your system is advertisement appear in places that shouldn't be in your like even you're not opening any browser, opening YouTube or so anything, but it will show on your corner of your screen, top right, top left, like bottom right or something. Yeah, your web browser homepage has been mysteriously changed without your permission. This is one of the very serious symptoms also lah. As what I told, I have used the 360 before this. Before this, my search engine was Google. My homepage was google.com, but suddenly it changed to like some unwanted Chinese website lah, which I don't really know about what is that. I can't remember, but it was some website that shows a lot of unwanted things and like a lot of related things. Really like web page you typically visit are not displaying properly. This may be cause the adware actually penetrated into your browser to edit everything on the HTML code on the code base itself, to have like their ads browse in your browser or your tabs or your websites, and the websites link redirect to sites different from what you expected. This one is really recently lah. When you search something online, let's say when you want to find something else, top 10 brand of phones, then it shows the title is top 10 brand in phones on 2023. But when you click in, it forward you into another site that blasts you a lot of advertisement at the same time. But it's the one of the adware links, also what we call is adware links. The website literally directs you to sites different from what you expected. Like when you're expecting like the sites to be having something like, or they can have the top 10 list of something, but when you go in, it's different site. It's like a gambling website, or like it was a mature website that I can't really say the word out, but it's not what we expected. But one of the symptoms is also like your website browser starts to scroll to the claw, like by what I mean slow is like when you click something, it takes seconds to respond. Normally, we click something. Let's say I do it. The example here, it suddenly you will get response very fast. You'll get response very fast. But what the symptom is when this happens is really like you browser slow to like a snail crawl. Yeah, if you know what a snail crawl is, literally snail crawling to a wall or something. It's very slow. It's very bad, and it's very what we say, annoying. Also, recently, actually, the 2 by extension is not really recently, but during my time by using the, as what I know is a legitimate antivirus, it installed some unwanted 2 bars extension or plugins in my browser that I don't have aware, which I don't give any permission, or no, I give any the order of the authorization for it. So it suddenly just pop out, then suddenly, oh, this is the new toolbar for you. You can do what, you can do what, you can download YouTube video, can download Douyin video, and so on, which is something that you have not recognized it, but suddenly populate in your browser. But also, the one of the symptom is also like really your rarely on Mac, but mostly on PCs, that your PC start to have automatically installing unwanted software applications. Also relating to the one I said just now, the legitimate antivirus, they install a lot of unwanted apps to my my computer, like unwanted games or unwanted, like, okay, this is the Baidu Yun something, this is, or something is not legitimate and it's like causing a lot, using a lot of space in your computer, which is one of the symptoms of very bad adware infection also. But the most easiest way to recognize if your computer has been infected by the adware is your browser just crash every time you open it. Yeah, it will pop up a lot of ads, then crash your the browser every time you open it. This is the most easiest way to identify the symptoms of the infected computer. So I think this is all for the adware. So next we will proceed to what is ransomware. Ransomware, or we call ransom malware, is like, ransomware is different from virus or malware or adware or like worm or something. Ransomware is something that we call kidnapping malware, kidnapping ware. Yeah, it's like something that they kidnap. In real life case, we kidnap people, we ask for ransom, but in digital way, we going to kidnap your computer, your data, we're going to encrypt everything. You don't know how to open your file, everything. By that, we ask for ransom for the decryption key for you to decrypt everything, to get back your files. So it will prevent users from accessing their system or personal files and demand ransom payment in order to regain access. While some people think it's a virus that locked my computer, no, it's not virus. Virus is one of the malware that will self-replicate in the system, but it would not cause any encryption in your system. Yeah, so it would cause harm to your system, but not encrypt your files and everything. So ransomware would typically classify as a different form of malware than a virus. That they order the payment must be sent via cryptocurrency or credit cards. And the attackers don't care who you are. They target individuals, businesses, and organizations of all kinds. Basically, it's like, normally they will ask you to pay in cryptocurrency now because you can trace by the credit card who received the payment. But cryptocurrency is the harder way to track you down lah. But it really, like, you don't care who you are, what your company is, or worse, like, the example in recently is around 2017 or 18. There was a very serious outbreak of a malware, a ransomware called WannaCry. It literally target everyone with a vulnerability in their computer. So it attacks like individuals that ask for you for the money. Like, it's around 2,500 US dollar, equivalent to around 11,000 Malaysian ringgit lah. So it target basically everyone, hospitals, government agencies, police stations, individuals, companies, everything. They don't care who you are, but they just target everyone at once, so they can ask ransom money. So this is one of the very bad way of the ransomware also. But I would like to talk about what is how is the symptoms of ransomware infected computer. So we will proceed to that. Okay. You basically you lose access to your files or your entire computer. When you log in, you are going to see like something like this picture below. What's the matter? Your computer has been infected by Grand Crab ransomware. All your files has been encrypted, and you are not able to decrypt by yourself. To decrypt your files, you have to buy a Grand Crab decryptor or something. The price is how many. This is symptomatic of a random ransomware infection. Normally the hacker announce themselves by leaving a ransom note on your desktop or changing or desktop wallpaper itself the ransom note. Some people are more advanced now. They use an app. So every time you open your computer, they will just show you, okay, your computer has been hacked. You have to pay this to unlock your computer. So basically in real life symptoms we call it same as kidnapping also. Kidnapping, they kidnap your son or daughter or someone, then they call you to ask for ransom. This is the same thing but in a digital way. But normally we don't encourage people to pay. But worst come worst, if your the data is very what we say is very important, then is last resort to pay lah. But normally we don't really suggest to pay for the ransom. So I think that's all for all the malicious threats I will talk about today. But next I will talk about how to prevent. I think prevention is better than damage right now. So normally for websites or like banking accounts for like social medias or like any websites you're going to log in on, please use strong and unique password. You can see the example here. Yeah. Which I will demo later on, which you can go on to. Also I will share the link in the chat below. You can try to use it also. And please do avoid to use same password for all platform, such as your password for banking application and social media is the same. Let's say your password for banking is around ABC123 alternate. Then your social media also same. But when they do the dictionary attack to your password and all your accounts, if you're using the same password as a social media and your banking applications, you might be lost because of that. Which I will show the demo right now on how to create a password. So really, you can look at here. It's sorry. Okay, I haven't opened it, but you can look at here. I can open it for. I can show you here, which you can generate your password like this. You can set your password length. You can set the conditions you want: uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols. This is one of the example, but normally I encourage to not use any online tool to generate your password because it might be targeted. But normally this will be a one-time random string, so I still give it a chance. So normally you can set a length here. You can set how many words you want. The max is 50 lah, which I don't think you can type so long. So normally we encourage between 15, uh, to 12 to 15 to 20. Yeah, whichever you feel comfortable for remembering. So we can generate every time it's different. You can see here. Yeah, you got symbols, you got capital letters, you got numbers. Yeah, you got up lowercase letters and everything. So when you generate, you can copy this password and use it on your um the social medias and making applications above lah. So I think that's all for the password. So next I will actually talk about the prevention is also by using two-factor authentication. I believe nowadays, some of you, I don't know if you guys play games, but like the gaming companies such as Ubisoft or Steam, they start to have two-factor authentications. But you for us, like normally we suggest user to use to the software two-factor authentication as secondary authentication and layer for security purposes. Normally, the first one we known is Google Authenticator. It was used by Ubisoft. It's a gaming company lah. Every time you log in, you have to get a code from Google Authenticator to authorize yourself as the real person instead of going to your email. The email which can be intercepted and attacked based on it. So we don't really encourage to use two-factor authentication on email right now. Rather, we use what we call OTP. one-time password generated by Authenticator app, which you can see here is Google Authenticator, and the one I showed, the LastPass Authenticator. So you can see actually is here. You can actually do 2FA, like you can approve your site, everything. But recently the Google Authenticator as is down, so we can't really show what's the website on it. But you can see here normally is something like this. Yeah, it's something like this that you generate the code every time. You can go to your Instagram, your Slack, your Google, your Facebook, Amazon, Discord, and so on, and like game apps or something. Yeah, it will generate a random password every 45 to 60 seconds. So every time you enter the password is totally different. It's random. So when 6 digit means what? You have around more than millions of combinations for them to hack. Yeah, but after they try, the password will be regenerated within 1 minute. So I think it's very hard for them, like, as for now, to penetrate through. But this is one of the way of using two-factor authentication on your personal social medias and others. But now I believe most of the bank also use two-factor authentication on your own phones only, that you can approve the payment based on when you see the transaction records. Okay, when you confirm the transaction, then you click confirm. Yeah, then it's one of the way also lah. So I think we don't have much time, so I will just go on the next one, which is the hardware two-factor authentication. Yeah, user also can use hardware two-factor authentication and layer for security purposes too. What is hardware? Basically, hardware is something like this. You can plug in a key. It can be a personal area network, or we call PAN. PAN is personal area network is something like Bluetooth or like NFC, that you can communicate with your phone every time you're going to log into something. You can plug into a computer. They have a special encrypted key in there. So every time you log in, you can just scan your things like that lah. So it can be USB, it can be USB-C, it can be with NFC also, and many types of it also. So you can see here like actually you can look for the site called Ubico. This product is called YubiKey. And I will talk about another one which is a little bit cheaper. You can see here the details. Vito 2 security key is USB-A with NFC, and the one of the OTP that have lah. So they actually encourage you to have the root key with you every time you're going to have a key management lah. So this is one of the way actually. One of the better way for you to prevent this thing, even you don't want to buy or don't want to use it, is really just use just have a good browsing habits. For me, I really have like a very good browsing habits right now. I avoid to click into some fishy or weird links in my social media. I avoid clicking into some flashy advertisement and enter my personal details. Normally this one, the second one would be um clicking into like when you see in social media, it may be some weird things like, wow, you have okay, this is example is like when you click on something, uh when you click on something, sorry, when you click on something, it appears like, hey, you have won an iPhone 14 Pro Max 1 TB. Please key in your banking details and your email to obtain your price. This is one of the very bad way to leak your private information. So please refrain yourself from like clicking into some flashy advertisement and enter your personal details. But and also please do clear your cache and cookies monthly and weekly. So what is cache and cookie? Cache is something that your browser has preloaded some website based on your things on the websites you have visited often. And cookies is something that please accept your cookie every time you go into a website. Cookie is also we call a session cookie. Session cookie is like basically they store what they have seen before and like who are you and so on. But to prevent the attacks from it, I would suggest to not really not to go and not clear it, but clear it on monthly basis lah. But for me, I do it in a weekly basis, so it will be much more secure. So next, I will actually talk about keep your secret or personal information, even your device type and a port is using by using VPN. What is VPN? VPN basically is a virtual private network. You can connect into the server on other countries, on other locations. You can mask yourself, mask your identity from the server, so people don't know who you are. But actually, I can show you here. It's like something like this. Yeah, but what does it do? Actually, really, it's like by using VPN, users are able to hidden their personal information, such as the current IP address, their location, their internet service provider, and more, actually to prevent tracking from unwanted ads and protected through VPN internet channels. So like you can avoid being tracked by a lot of like unwanted things, like especially when you're using Google right now. When you type something in Malaysia, then they will show you a lot of unwanted ads regarding the topic you just searched. So this is one of the way. And the second is like you can use browser also, but I will talk about that in another minute. So why we encourage people to use VPN in public Wi-Fi is one of the ways because of what we call man in the middle pineapple attack. Yeah, so it's like really like a relay from what we call, like, okay, this is the victim, like this is you connected to the public Wi-Fi, to the attacker's access point, and to the Wi-Fi. So you have a bridge between them, and when you are connected to there, everything you send, everything you use, everything you have login, you have sent email, everything that can be intercepted in between. So this is why we encourage you to use VPN, which you can mask yourself from the attacker to avoid getting hacked for your private information also. So you can read more on the Wi-Fi pineapple on Target, Tech Target, which I can't really show now because the constraint of the time. But the next one will be really use DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is really one of the websites that I use often, even in Google. I But now I this one is to prevent yourself from getting tracked and getting advertisement or like getting attacked by unwanted software and attackers. Really, you can look at it. You can search for DuckDuckGo. It's like they have multiple protection: e-web, email, search, and application protection. They block a lot of trackers. You can't see a lot of trackers there. Yeah, you can actually see web pages. They have voice search this a lot of things here. Yeah, which you can actually take a look at yourself. But really, I think that's all from me. So if you have any issues, you can ask in the Q&A. I will try to answer your question as soon as best as we could with Ojun. So I think that's all from me. Let me pass it to um, our host, Richie.
All right. Thank you, William and Hojun, for your interesting sharing with us today. Now we will proceed to the Q&A section. So, as
Um,
you can see, this is the code and the QR code for the Slido. If you all have any question, you can ask at Slido, and then William and Hojun will try to answer your question.
Okay, I saw Wai Ming's comment from Google Meet. So actually, DuckDuckGo is what we call unsafe, but is if you compare to many browsers, I would compare it to Brave and to DuckDuckGo, but I will simply prefer DuckDuckGo because of the simpler way it is to get through lah. But if really when you compare to Firefox, even like Bing search or Google search or Yahoo search and other searching engine, I think DuckDuckGo so far is very fine for me. It has blocked a lot of other things for me, but I think this is one of the way to go. But definitely I will look into it. Maybe I will share more in future regarding to DuckDuckGo if it's unsafe. But as for now, I think it's safe for normal usage.
Okay, so do we have other questions from our participant, or we have one question here? What measure would you recommend to a person whose computer has been hacked? Any William or Hougen? Maybe
I
one of
think I
you
will take it. I think I'll take it. So, measures that can be done when your computer has been hacked. Normally, I would say there's nothing much that we can do at the moment, but try to back up a lot of data as before you going to reset the computer or reformat the computer. But normally we call it preventive measures that you can just do frequent backup on your computer files, such as sensitive files, your family photos, and so on before any consequences, like I mean, like before being hacked, like. So I would encourage to do, like, if you are not really uh of active on your computer files, then I would like to recommend to have a backup on your drive or and anything every 2 to 4 weeks, or like monthly, or like quarterly also can, but really depends on the usage. But if you're a heavy usage as me, I have a NAS in my home. We call never attached storage. I often, like, I have a snapshot of my files, everything, every 7 days. Yeah, it's related to my it's all related to my personal files, my personal informations, my certificates, and also my family photos and so on lah. But this is one of the way to prevent. But what measures can you, like, go when your computer has been hacked is really not much, but to save as much data as you can, but still be careful on what you have copied into your pen drive or like external hard drive and so on.
All right, thank you, William, for answering the question. So, is there any question from our participants? Is there any question more? All right, so I will assume there's no more question from our participants here today. So now, let us proceed to our photo section before ending the section today. So let us have a photo together. Our participants, you may switch on your webcam. Is there others who like to switch on their webcam? It's okay. All right, we will have our photo now. So you may do the GDSC Thai MT gesture. Yeah, all right. So I will take the screenshot now. So 1, 2, wait a minute. Right. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, everyone. So, once again, on behalf of GDSC Thai and UMT, we would like to express our gratitude, appreciation for all of you here today for spending some your precious time with us today, and we truly appreciate for your participation. Um, Lastly, let us give a round of applause to our speaker of today, William and Haojun, for their wonderful sharing with us today. So we hope that all of you here today enjoy with the sharing section by William and Haojun. So good night and have a nice weekend.